Wait for the video to kick to there, and then go to the intro. What's up, guys? Welcome into the podcast. All right, here's how this is going to work. And I know this is new to YouTube that you guys are actually allowing me to actually stream, which is amazing. Seeing as I've been, demonetized 7,000 times. I think my demonetization has been demonetized on YouTube.
Demonetization's capped.
Yeah, it's like dead. Totally dead. Anyways, this is the TCP Podcast Live. We do a podcast. Well, I do a podcast. He's my special guest today, the bro. You all know him from Totally Wrong. Liam would have been in, but he's in COVID school right now, so he's got to do his COVID. Anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is just the elections. This is pretty much an open forum of a discussion for the elections. You guys can ask questions, which will probably be like one person in the stream the whole night, the whole time. You know what I mean? There'll be one person here asking dumb questions, probably my nephew. Oh my god. Anyways, so like I said, you all know him. This is Bro from Totally Wrong. The Totally Wrong representative, as usual. We are on a podcast, but we're going to talk about elections today because you know what? I know things about politics. It's not my current resolution. Stop. Yes, I would like to meet Donald Trump any day. I think I've already met him once anyways. A long time ago. Anyways, we're going to be talking about our opinions on the elections right now. Now, we all looking at the elections right now and realize how much of a nightmare these elections are right now. The elections are, it's like World War III, just without weapons. And the worst part about this is there are actually been several cases of riots breaking out everywhere, all over this stuff. And the problem we know factually about these elections is even if Biden wins, or even it doesn't matter if Donald Trump wins, doesn't matter if Biden wins. Either way, the riots are going to continue. As you guys clearly saw on news reports, that Project Veritas just released another video showing you that even if Biden becomes president, which God, we know he won't, but even if Biden becomes president, what's going to happen is there is still going to be riots, because what they're going to do is they're going to riot to get Joe Biden to do everything that they want Joe Biden to do. This is how it's going to work. And the Democrats have no spine. That's the problem.
Spineless bitches.
They're very spineless, bitchy people. And okay, we're enough minutes in. Because I know you get thrown off YouTube after you swear
I'll
too
bleep
early.
it next time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. And we need a beep thing. I want to get one of those buttons that goes beep every time I swear. Of course, I'd probably be spending the whole podcast going like that. Beep, 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 beep. Huh? That's true. But can you imagine that? What are you doing over there, buddy? Why you keep pressing that button? Because of the way I talk. F this, F that, F this, F that. No, but we're gonna talk about the serious repercussions that this election is gonna have on us right now. We know the riot's gonna continue either way.
Children.
Whether Biden or Donald Trump wins, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter how you look at it. And everybody's gonna be like, no, if Biden gets elected, everything will be fine. No, it's a lie. It is not going to be. Project Veritas already proved that, flat out, beyond a shadow of doubt, that the riots are going to continue even after, if he wins. But it's not like he's going to win. So who cares? You know, well, one of the things that I know about these elections, and I told everybody this before on my podcast. I've told everybody this before on several. You can come into the camera.
I am.
There we go. But what I've told people on my podcast before, and what I told people on my videos before, all my political videos, that the main objective of the 2020 election was literally to pay attention to the vice president, the person that he's going to select for as vice president. So the person that we are worried about mostly right now is probably there's a couple of things going on with that situation. Nancy Pelosi is talking about using the 25th Amendment. Everybody knows what the 25th Amendment is. The ability to remove a president from office if he's doing something wrong, if he's not functioning right, this, that, the other thing. Now, everybody right now, the mainstream media is pointing at it like, oh, wait, we think that he's going to use this, that she's going to try and use this on Donald Trump again, which isn't going to happen. That's not actually what it's for. If I know Nancy Pelosi like I know every other establishment Democrat, they know that Biden is clueless. They know that his brain is ruined.
Yep.
What they are trying to do is find a way to use the 25th Amendment, and what they're going to do is they're going to use it on Joe Biden. And I think that's exactly what the ultimate response and problem is going to be with this situation, is they're going to use it on Joe Biden to remove him from office and put Kamala Harris as president. And like I said a long time ago, before the election started, I said, you need to pay attention to his vice president picks. And we knew that he was going to pick a black woman, obviously. You know what I mean? I was hoping he would have picked Pocahontas, would have given me something to make fun of. But that didn't happen. You know.
Wait, isn't she like a squad member?
No. Pocahontas is our senator in Massachusetts.
No, I'm talking about Kamala Harris. Isn't she
Kamala Harris is Kamala, cunt, whatever. Harris is one of the most far left leaning candidates on the spectrum to date.
Okay.
Like literally, she was the one that was putting people in jail for something as simple as a pot offense for like 8 years, 10 years, and stuff like that. And the reason why she was doing this, now you guys don't know this, nobody's going to know this, because everybody's going to be like, oh, it's denial, and then they're going to put a fact check on the bottom of the video, like they always do. But they're going to be like, no, she never said that, and it's actually the truth. She actually increased the sentences of having marijuana to 10 years. The reason why she did that was because it was specifically aimed against black people. It's funny how Kamala Harris is a black woman, but she, through her whole career as a prosecutor, she did nothing but destroy black people's lives. And what happens is the party switched completely left, so now all of a sudden she once again likes black people. And it's not trying to sound racist. I'm really not trying to sound racist about it. But the fact of the matter is that she disliked black people when she was a prosecutor in California. She was charging people ridiculous amounts of years for just something as simple as marijuana. Like, marijuana should just be legal across the entire United States. I just don't know why they just won't do that in every state. It's only a plant. Like, you know what I mean? Who cares? But we recommend the stream bitrate. Yeah, okay, who cares?
Who cares if you recommend?
Suggestion. YouTube's trying to hit me with suggestions. A way to get my video so it doesn't work on YouTube, probably. Because they probably saw me live when I went live, and they're probably like, oh my god, he's back. Whoops. Demonetize his demonetization and more of his demonetization. You know what I mean? But we've gotten to this point now. Let's get back to the subject at hand. Instead of digging at YouTube, because YouTube just ruins everybody's lives. But I love you, YouTube, totally. All right, I'd rather work on Facebook. I'm just saying, but Kamala Harris is one of those people that when she was a prosecutor, she was devastating when it came to criminal things. She would, and the reason why she increased the sentences so far during her time doing that was because she wanted people to be able to clean up the roads. Like, basically, what you guys were looking at when Kamala Harris was doing this, I'm just going to call it Camel Toe Harris. I'm just going to call it Camel Toe. Camel Toe.
Basically, she wanted road janitors.
Yeah.
To clean her precious streets up.
Got to clean up
to hide the syringes.
Yeah, we got to clean up the syringes. That way, if a criminal steps on the syringe and dies from it, then they don't have to worry about it because it's criminal.
That's right.
You know, that's how it is. But when it comes to the election, like I said already, that the main thing was we had to look for who the presidential vice president person that was running with Joe Biden was going to be. Obviously, it was going to be Kamala Harris because she's the only one that actually came.
I knew it was sketchy when they picked her. She picked her,
it was she came close. She was the second highest in the thing, but that's not actually the truth. And here's where this is where the left got mad. The left is extremely angry right now, and it's not because of Donald Trump. You guys could sit here and scream that it's Donald Trump all day long. They are angry at something in general. All right. While back when the election and the people were running for president started, the person that was in the lead was Bernie Sanders. A devastating, huge lead he had over Biden. Like, he was beating Biden by 20 and 30 and 40 points. Mm-hmm. He was crushing Biden in the polls. But the Democrat Party, like they did in 2016, turned around and screwed Bernie Sanders again. Now, I don't like anything that Bernie Sanders stands for in general, but I don't think that this is two elections that the left has lost their candidate, because in 2016, they stonewalled Bernie Sanders again. And then in this current election cycle that we're in right now, they screwed Bernie Sanders again. So the left has every reason to be extremely pissed off right now, breaking things. And then what happened with George Floyd didn't make anything any better. But we're not talking about the riots today. We're talking about elections and what's going on with the elections. But if you look at the polls right now, they are just jet close. Like, they're so close right now, it's ridiculous. And most polls will be like, oh my God, Biden's in the lead by like 900 points or some craziness. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, he's ahead by 9,000 points. And I'm like, that doesn't exist in the point scale. It doesn't work like that. But Donald Trump has managed to get his numbers higher when it comes to the Spanish vote.
Yep. Which
nobody expected. Nobody expected the Spanish people to like Donald Trump. Why wouldn't you like Donald Trump? He's an asshole. He tells you how it is. And he got COVID. So, you know, and he still went back to work 2 days later. So, you know, I gotta hand it to Donald Trump with all the crap that he's faced for the past 4 years. Well, not 4 years yet, but you know what I mean. But with the past 4 years, with all the trouble that he's faced, all the fucking hate from the media, Fox News trying to climb up his butt. Like, I kind of feel bad for Donald Trump on that. Because, like, even Fox News is like, let me get up your butt, Donald. Like, and then CNN's like, we hate Donald, Orange Man bad. And it's like, he's had nothing but negative press. And then when you watch new channels like Fox News, they sit there and they're like, Donald Trump's the best and blah, 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 not paying attention to the political matters that are actually at hand, the things that are actually important. Like, they'll talk about, oh, well, abortion. Like, I have to go on to a situation when it comes to abortions. I don't give a shit about what a woman does. So now you got to be like, oh, you're not a Republican then, because that means you're left. And I'm going to be like, no, that's not what it means. Mm-hmm. I don't care what a woman does to her body. Torment, kill your kid, do whatever you want. I don't care. Not my issue. And I say that stuff bluntly and don't care. So this is what you guys are going to get.
People have trouble with
This is what you guys, yeah, I know they do. This is what you guys are going to get used to on here, is the fact that I'm blunt to the point and I don't have no problem making you guys look like fools. But with all the trouble that he's faced for the past 4 years, his economy was huge. It was booming. We were doing excellent.
Still doing good.
Yeah, and even left people on the left were saying, oh, wow, I've had more money than I actually have had in a while. People on the left were even saying that. Okay? Then COVID happened. When COVID happens, that's it. You know, the fake Chinese.
The great narrative.
The great narrative. That's a double narrative, but, you know, like that narrative goes, and especially New York City when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Oh, you are not allowed to go. Hey, look at that! I just became Orange Man. Orange Man bad. No, I'm only kidding. But here, like with that situation, that was another thing with New York. The stuff that's going on in New York right now, where Jews are getting systematically ripped apart for absolutely no reason. They're getting told they can't sit there and gather and do their church.
But yet they're
whatever.
allowing like thousands of people to destroy buildings for no reason.
That's the problem. And that is one of the problems with the elections come this year, is the fact that there's been a double narrative running. The states are still running lockdowns for absolutely no reason. There's nothing you can really do. Huh? Especially California. California and his new rule where he decided
but Nancy Pelosi needed her hair done.
Yeah,
so
she's allowed to. She's allowed to do that shit. She's allowed to just go into a hair salon and do what she wants, but everybody else has to stay home. And in New York, you cannot be a Jew and enjoy your religion, but you can go out and destroy buildings. So here's what I give a suggestion for the Jewish people. The Jewish people that are facing a hard time with the New York governor right now, which is going to get kicked out of the office anyways, because I have a weird feeling that New York is going to turn red.
Everybody gets one.
I have a feeling that Donald Trump is going to win New York. I do have that weird feeling. And when you have a feeling like that during an election cycle, you're like, holy shit, one huge state like New York is literally going to turn red. If it keeps up with what Governor Cuomo and de Blasio are doing, thank God de Blasio is out this year. They're going to find a new governor. It's probably going to be someone even more far left. Maybe they'll make it AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, governor of New York. But in New York, is where all this trouble started, and the double narrative that we were just discussing. The double narrative was literally, you can't go to church and do anything because you're killing grandma, but 50,000 people can go out, nearly not wearing masks. No social distancing and just destroying buildings left and right. That's okay, though. That's fine. Because, even de Blasio says that's fine because he painted Black Lives Matter in front of Donald Trump's hotel.
When it comes to the New York issue, honestly, I like fictional New York and Marvel better than the real one. I'm sorry. Way better.
At least that New York is ran better.
Exactly. Way better.
But it brings me back to the movie, Escape from New York. It's literally what this has become.
Rich people have done.
With New York. So here's my advice to you Jewish people, and I feel bad that the Jewish community is facing all this crap with de Blasio and their bigotry. Yet meanwhile, they demonize us saying something about black people.
Exactly.
But my issue with that whole situation is here we go. We can solve the problem, Jews. Raise up. Go out. Go destroy a bunch of buildings. So you're Jews. So go to a Catholic neighborhood and destroy a bunch of buildings in a Catholic neighborhood. Say, Nope. So you type in a simple 3 letters will nullify them with no problems. They won't have to worry about it. JLM. Jews Lives Matter.
Oh!
Still, maybe don't call them Jews.
Jewish.
There you go.
Jewish Lives Matter.
Ooh, yep, there you go.
And then they'd be able to assemble.
Exactly.
I mean, apparently you can also go to church if you dress like a treasonous pile of shit like Black Lives Matter and Antifa. You can go into a church, and I mean, there was actually a case where there was a church that actually had people dressed like that, like dressed up like rioters, just so they could go to church. It's entertaining how that happened. Like there was a group.
It worked, right?
There was a group. It was one of the Portland incidents. And there was a group that was dressed up as rioters, just able to do whatever they want because they were wearing the rioters' clothing that they were wearing, and they went into a church and had their church. They had their session on church.
Right?
They just pretended they were rioters. They pretended they were BLM Antifa. And
I fucking hate you, man.
No.
They're just pretending.
No, nobody. They just went in and they dressed up as rioters, went into their church and did their thing. And it's entertaining to see that stuff happen.
Even the pastors?
Huh? Yeah. It was subject. They did that on purpose. But with all the trouble that Donald Trump's faced for the whole year, for the past, like,
3 years.
since Russiagate, that
The expensive piece of paper Hillary paid for?
that supposed open and shut case that he was Russian interference, supposedly.
The one that Hillary paid for.
It's just really entertaining how that one happened. That was funny.
Let's say her name.
That was who?
The one Hillary paid for, right?
No, you can say whatever you want. I could care less what YouTube thinks. If I don't like Hillary Clinton, oh well, too bad. That's not my fault. I have my right.
Children on an
Well,
island.
what these companies need to understand, especially big tech like YouTube and big tech like Facebook, need to understand we have the right to say whatever the hell we want, whether anyone likes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's called free speech for a reason. Aside from saying that you're going to kill someone, live, that's a different situation. You know what I mean? But that's how speech works. You're allowed to say whatever you want. And we have seen so many problems with the elections right now, and then the mail-in voting. Oh my God, the mail-in voting.
That sounds like a
This
disaster.
is just horrible. I have seen 27 different cases of ballots that were just thrown away. And then you come to find out, Tim Pool, good guy, come to find out, why did my...
What happened?
I don't know, but wow, maybe YouTube stopped my stream already. That would be entertaining if that was the case. No, that was just my webcam fuck up, whatever. Anyways, one of the cases that happened that was very outstanding to me was the fact that we found out that a couple of weeks, last week or something like that, that there were people that were so scared of COVID-19 when they got their ballots, they were sanitizing their ballots.
What?
Sanitizing their ballots. Like, I mean, I don't know how I can stress that. It's paper.
Isn't it like treated and whatnot?
It's paper. It's paper. You can't spray paper down.
Isn't paper a plant?
Paper gets ruined. Like, if you spray water on paper, it just falls apart. But because they were so scared of COVID, they were spraying sanitizer on there. Paper. Smearing the ink and everything, and both envelopes ruined. Wow, that go along with the ballots.
Tough.
And it was just so entertaining. And then the boxes and boxes of ballots that they have found. Like, I have pictures on my phone that someone sent me after they saw my podcast on BitChute. What? What are you talking about?
Is that a nice way of them saying that we cut you off?
YouTube's error is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, experience will buffer. Who cares? YouTube, whatever.
Wow.
What happens if I hit refresh and does that fix it? I'm probably
buffering on my screen.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, we're having some problems, obviously, with YouTube. YouTube's like, oh my God, Steve's back. We gotta run.
He brought someone. Shit.
Yeah, we gotta run because Steve's back. Anyways, huh? That's entertaining. Anyways, well, the video is gonna be a little bit disruption. Probably when the video goes plays back, it'll be better. Whatever. I'm not really caring what happens on YouTube. It's honestly not important. But we have watched so many issues going on with these, especially like I said, the mail-in ballots and all the cases. New Jersey had to redo their election, their primaries. They had to redo them because every ballot that went for that election was disqualified. Every single ballot. They said mail-in voting would be great. So
it's a disaster.
Yeah. And there's another instance with this situation going on is we're never going to really find out who the president of the United States is until weeks after the election. The election is going to end November 3rd. Everybody's going to be like, oh my God, this person, whoever wins, is going to win. And then all of a sudden the rest of the mail-in ballot's going to come in and change the entire election. And that's one of the plans that they would use, which would not surprise me with the Democrats, that if after January 4th, if the election's not tallied and nobody knows who the president is, then there will be no president of the United States. The president will be Nancy Pelosi. And this is one of the repercussions of these mail-in ballot things that they're doing for the elections that we knew was going to cause problems. Like, I knew this was going to cause problems in the beginning, and like there's nothing you can really do about it. But and the smears left and right for people, and then the fact that everybody turns around and hides and helps and protects and coddles Biden everywhere he goes. Like, he goes into an area where there's like one press member who says something like, "Orange man bad, do you agree?" And Biden's like, "Yes." You know what I mean? Like, simple stuff like that. They're protecting him deeply for some crazy ass reason. God only knows why. Meanwhile,
so you can kick him out.
Meanwhile, even the Republicans are demonizing Donald Trump for no reason. And this is all happening because they're just not. People are not happy with the fact that Donald Trump is not what do you call those politicians? An establishment politician is what Donald Trump is not. And the reason why we did that, that's the reason why we voted him in the office, was for that reason. Because we didn't want another establishment politician in office. Because, well, obviously, clearly it wasn't working. Hey, Six X and Hammer. Get his merchandise. He's another commentator that I like. So we've got a lot of crap that's going on. One of the main things that I'm laughing at right now is the whole story behind the Kenosha kid, where the story just dropped to let us that I found out earlier that the kid that fired that killed that person was actually found to kill that person in self-defense. So all his charges are going to be dropped. Some more riots are going to start.
Of course.
And this is just one of those years where, 2020 came in like a lion, and it's probably going to leave like a herd of elephants.
Dragon.
It's going to leave like a dragon. It's going to leave like Alduin. And there ain't going to be nobody there to scream at him to shut him up. You know what I mean? Except maybe Donald Trump. I can see that right now. I can see Donald Trump doing that. Can you imagine Donald Trump? Biden, I'm sick of you. Foos rota! Gone! Just Biden flies away, flops through the air. I'm in Kansas. No, you're not. You're in New York, dumbass.
Oh, he fucked up the state he was in again?
No. That was yeah, he did. That was a couple weeks ago. He was in Pennsylvania, and he said Michigan.
What?
Yeah. The first time he did it was with New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, he called it Maine.
I'm in Maine. No, you're in New Hampshire, moron. And if you guys can't clearly see that Joe Biden is brain dead, and
there was also the time where he was like, "Hello, Vermonters," and he was somewhere else. I forgot.
Yeah, but we gotta get to one established situation when it comes to Mr. Biden. I feel bad for Joe Biden. And it's not his politics, because I could care less about his damn politics. All politicians are the same, especially establishment ones. And I could care less about that. But the problem is that the Democrat Party is parading him
puppet.
like it's
A marionette.
Yeah, but let's use it in a more meaner term. Would you walk up and punch your grandmother? No. Kid. But, like, seriously, would you go punch your grandfather? Would you go punch your uncle? Would you go punch your mom?
I punched you yesterday, remember?
Yeah, I understand that. But what my situation with that is, the reason why I say it in that manner is because that's literally what they're doing. They're, like, beating on his brain, trying to get it, like, will him across the finish line. It's like taking that little kid that's just about to step up to the bat and play some t-ball, and the parent helps the kid swing. You know what I mean? And like everything. And let's just say it like that. They're playing t-ball with fucking Joe Biden, and like they hold in his hands so he can swing that bat and hit that ball pretty far. And then they probably, knowing the politicians of the Democrat Party, they probably as he's running to first base, they'll shoot the guy that tries to tag him out. You know what I mean? Or they'll send him to Epstein's Island. Somewhere around there. I don't know. Ask Bill Clinton about that. He went on there 21 times. And then they're going to put on the sticker again. Fact check, he did not. No, the logs just showed him on there. But, whatever. But that's the problem I have with Biden is I feel bad for him. I generally feel bad for the guy because they're just literally using him. They're like not... There's no actual reason for Joe Biden to even be out in public.
Kamala Harris is using him as a springboard to take over, pretty much.
Well, that's a pretty weak springboard. That's like the yellow springboard in Sonic.
Oh yeah, yep.
Like Joe Biden is the yellow springboard in in Sonic the Hedgehog. Anybody who gets that gamer innuendo, you know what I mean. And the person that's actually the red.
I get it. I'm only 18.
The red springboard is Donald Trump. He's miles above everybody.
No, Trump's the blue one. Super one.
Oh.
Mario.
I wasn't talking about Mario.
Talking
I was talking about
Sonic,
Sonic. Oh, 2 different games. You don't even know what you're talking about. God, no. Go back to your COVID school, kid.
I finished my Spanish work. I'm waiting for my next class.
Go back to your
I'm
COVID.
cooking my food.
Go back to your COVID school.
He's getting video.
Yeah, it's
That's
fine.
that vain aspect.
It's fine. No, it's fine. He's allowed. He's one of our creators on Totally Wrong, so I don't argue with him
Totally
popping
wrong.
his
You mean
face in the
Totally
video.
Wrong
Totally Wrong. Redo. Yes, but we're not going to be popping that website. We're talking about politics. But, you guys can check it out, Facebook.com/Totally Wrong Redo.
Place those zeros.
Yeah, exactly. And then put Redux on the end of it. Capital REDUX. See, we're not promoting that website. We're talking about politics. But with all the stuff that's going on, and then we got the stimulus issue, that's another fuck up thing that's going on right now. She's so dumb. Like, she went on CNN, Nancy Pelosi, screaming at Wolf Blitzer. And Wolf Blitzer's a moron anyway, so who cares? CNN, anybody that works for CNN's an idiot. Or just doesn't know what reality is. Something like that. But
It's like they make up their own reality.
she went on there screaming about the fact that the stimulus bill she will not pass. She's not helping with the pass. Nothing. Because the initial bill that she wanted for the stimulus is literally and always been, like the last 3 have always been a Democrat laundry list.
Yep.
That's the problem. They're like they're talking about stimulus. We're going to help people financially, and yes, we need to change. We need to make it so there's no voter ID required. Like, she's putting all that crap in the bill. Things, it's like she sent the first stimulus bill that they did when they authored the stimulus bill. She turned around and she sent money to museums, which we know. Anybody who knows anything about politics knows museums is the Democrats' laundering base for money. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But but I saw that and I'm like, why did you send money to a museum? And I'm just like, I'm sitting there staring at it, stumped. I'm like, why are you sending money to a museum? The museums are closed.
Yep.
Like, along with everything else, the small businesses, the whole 9 yards, the museums are closed, but we're going to send money to the museums. Obviously, it's a back pocket for the Democrats so they can just take money.
More or less.
We've had several instances during this election course of, what's her face there?
It's Pelosi.
Ilhan Omar. Several different instances of her turning around and laundering money into her, out of her election and stuff like that. Like back accounts and things like that. None of that stuff was investigated. None of it was investigated because, God forbid, we don't want to upset the Muslim. You know what I mean? Because she'll blow up Congress. But I'm just saying. Yeah, it's really bad, but it's the truth. And this is what the podcast is about. This is for people to face the bitter truth and realize that I'm not someone that you can just play with. You can't just sit here and be like, oh my God, he's so mean. Because at the end of the day, And I say it all the time. My opinion doesn't stop where your feelings begin. I could care less. And like so much election fraud going on right now. We've seen a bunch of ballot harvesting going on in Ilhan Omar's district. Her.
Yeah.
In her district, there's been a bunch of that. There was
convenient.
There was a group of people going around to the Somali part of that district, the Somali people, the immigrants, and getting their ballots and vote, signing the ballots to keep Ilhan in office, which is actually a federal offense, but Democrats
don't pay attention to that
Democrats
unless
don't
it's
face federal
concerning
offenses.
another party. That's when they'll pay
And
attention.
then we are also in a situation with this election that technically, after what Project Veritas released last night, with all the documents pertaining to everything that happened with Burisma and all that crap in Ukraine that they were talking about with Biden and his son, technically, if you are actually to follow the Constitution, which, politicians don't know what the Constitution is anymore, but if you were to actually follow the Constitution...
The only way politicians know what the Constitution is, if it's has coloring areas and pop-up areas and whatnot, it's the only way they'll understand it.
Here, Nancy,
read.
Here, Nancy, here's your color by numbers Constitution.
Exactly.
I feel bad for Abraham Lincoln and George Washington right now.
If they could hear what's going on, they would roll in their graves and be like, "What the beep?
What happened? What happened? What happened to my country?
Seriously?
What happened to my country?"
They would cause a zombie apocalypse.
You know what happened? George Washington would get up and he would raise up an army and just kill everybody in the Congress. He'd be like, "Yeah, we're done with this." And then he'd pick up the new assault rifles we got now, and he'd be like, "Oh, even better." You know what I mean? Oh, we also got fake porcelain teeth now too, so you don't have to worry about the wooden teeth anymore. He'd be like, "What? What? I could get real teeth?" Yep, you can. And he would take an LMG machine gun and he'd be like, "Fuck Congress!" He really would.
So y'all are sad.
He really would. It's an embarrassing situation that we're in right now. And one of the things that I know about the Constitution, when it comes to this whole incident with Burisma and Joe Biden and his son, and using the vice presidential office to influence to chant firing of a prosecutor in another country, that's actually technically and literally disqualifies him from the presidency right now. Like, literally,
that's called treason, Democrats.
It is. When the evidence has come up, when the evidence was dropped on there, immediately the Democrat Party should have, by the Constitution, reconvened and removed Joe Biden from the election. That's how it's supposed to be, because that is committing a form of treason. That is also forcing another government into doing something that they didn't need to do. And Joe Biden knowingly and willingly did this with his son, and then he tried to hide it. Now the documents come out. And when the documents came out, all of a sudden, there's nothing being done about it. That would instantly, if Donald Trump had that problem, let's take it from this perspective. Take all that crap with Burisma. Let's move it to Donald Trump. If Donald Trump was in that situation and it was his son that was doing that, and he used his vice presidency, Donald Trump would never be vice president, but he would use his vice presidency to fire a prosecutor, right? What would have happened to Donald Trump?
He would have been disqualified.
They would have immediately removed him from becoming president in general. But Biden is a special case, and like I said, it's sad to see.
The yellow springboard.
Yeah, it's sad to see the yellow springboard become the little flipper in the Casino Hill Zone that doesn't do anything. But it's just sad that the Democrats are totally just using this guy, and they're helping him across the finish line, like trying their best to be like, "We got to get you across the finish line." Holding his hand, bringing him across the finish line. Don't worry about that. We'll wipe your ass after. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. What's going to happen is literally if Biden wins, which hope not, but if Biden wins, he's literally going to be sitting in his wheelchair in the corner of the White House, just with his little teddy bear, chilling. And Kamala Harris is going to be running the country. And we're just going to be, our country will be destroyed. See, you guys got to understand, there's a lot coming up that's going on with this election right now. Right now, you are facing a simple choices in elections. I'm not going to say you have to vote for Donald Trump. I'm not going to say you have to vote for Biden. I don't care who you vote for. To be honest, it's not my place to tell you who and when to vote in general. That's not my job. I'm not a dictator. I can just give you what my opinions are, and then you guys can do whatever you want with your opinions on the situation. But if Biden gets elected as president, the country is going to go directly to socialism, and this is reality. Reality. Right now, we are about to lose the constitutional republic. If Biden goes into the office, we are going to end up in socialism in general. And I know people, because I talk to people all over the place on my web pages and things like that. And every time, there's always 4 or 5 people from other countries that say one thing. And they say, God damn it, they don't know what socialism's like. They need to pay attention to our countries more closely. Venezuela, China, all those communist countries that are going on, that are in the world right now. You guys need to pay attention to these countries, because what happens is the few take power while the people become peasants. And that's what happened in Venezuela, as you clearly see. Literally, I could take this Xbox controller, okay, over to Venezuela and get $9 million for it. That's literally how bad their money is. Like, our dollar is worth almost $500 versus their $1. Like, and this is what communism does and what socialism does to countries. And everybody's like, oh, but no, it's democratic socialism. You know what? Don't put that shit in front of it. Don't put the thing in front of it, that in front of it. It's the same thing. It's socialism. Unified healthcare, this, that, the other thing. Like, this is just nonsense. We have been a constitutional republic for what, 200-something years now? And we've been doing perfectly fine. Right now, I don't know what's going on with 2020. 2020 has become one of the most weirdest years, I gotta say. It has been,
year of my life.
You know, and my nephew over in COVID school. We can't talk about COVID, though.
Green narrative.
Socialism is the first step to communism.
Even though, and here's the other part, and, we're going to end the podcast. We went for an hour. But another thing that we need to bring up that's really, really actually important right now. One, next time talk more. Make some opinions. That's the point of it. It's okay, dude. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's the bro.
Research, Dad.
Huh?
What is some research?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's not even research. It's just in general. This is an opinion piece, is what it is the whole main thing behind it. He did a good job. He did a good job in the podcast. And he's literally my first guest in the podcast since I started the podcast.
Too, but
yeah.
COVID school.
Yeah.
My guy.
But one of the main things that we need to focus on, what we need to focus on this year when it comes to elections, is we need to focus on us. That's what we need to do. Whatever is good for the American public, not what is good for one group. Whatever is good for you, vote for. Just in general. Like, if you want to keep our constitutional republic, which I assume about 90% of the people in America do, then you're going to have to...
No, like 99%.
Yeah.
1% don't, 99%.
Yeah, no, it's a good 20 to 30% of the United States want socialism right now, and it's literally, and that's in between. The actual fact behind that is 20 to 30% of most adults from 18 to 24 want communism in the United States. It's actual real. Excuse me. It's actual real numbers when it comes to that. There's a lot of people that want socialism, and these people can win. It only takes a certain percentage of them to completely change the Democrat Party, as you have clearly seen in the past year, or 2 years, or 4 years. Actually, the past 4 years, you have seen what
virus
one
take hold.
far left person or one group of far left people can do to an entire party. All right? Like, AOC said it best herself when they did the Democrat National Convention. She said it best herself. She said, I put my support behind Bernie Sanders. Biden was the one that was selected as their candidate, and she is still put her support behind Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is an avowed socialist. This is where the Democrat Party is going. The former original Democrat Party is gone. Even Nancy Pelosi has lost her mind and started going way far left versus what she actually
She's
normally
losing her mind
is.
too.
Well, it's not even her mind in general. She has never been as far left as she is currently right now. There is no excuse for 4 people that get into Congress to be able to change an entire party to almost 70% socialist. It's not good. When you have 4 people, and that's the squad, when you have 4 people that can change 70% of the Democrat Party to socialists, that's bad. That's bad. That means you guys really don't have any balls, is what that means. If you're letting 4 people turn 70% of the Democrat Party to socialism. And they're calling it democratic socialism. Maybe we should call it socialist Republican. And maybe Donald Trump will win by even a bigger landslide. Trump, take that advice. I'm running on a socialist Republican.
No, then Trump will lose all his votes.
No, he won't. No, he won't, because then he'd have the left voting for him too. And you know, the worst part about it is when you look at that whole situation, there are people on the left that are voting for him. Number one case in point, Tim Pool, who's always been left-wing, period, is going to be voting for Donald Trump. Like when you have people that are left-wing just saying, oh, we're going to vote with Donald Trump. At the end of the day, what I could say is if you guys want to keep the constitutional republic, despite the fact that you hate the guy, you're going to have to vote Republican. That is the only way. You're going to have to be like, God, I know it's going to be hard, but some of you people are going to have to be like,
You're going to have mental breakdowns and stuff,
you know,
like sweating, like, oh my God,
we'll give you
what
some,
do I do?
We'll give you some lollipops and stuff to suck on. I mean, I'm sure you're used to it. Most
You
of
need
the...
some Xanax and then you can vote.
No. You would just give them some lollipops to suck on. I'm pretty sure the left will be fine. Half of them have OnlyFans accounts. And Snapchat premiums. So, you know what I mean? We should do that, like a Snapchat premium, just talking about voting. That would be entertaining. It would work, too. That's the worst part about it, because kids are retarded. Yeah, it's bad. But you're going to have to shakingly walk up to the thing, and you're going to have to... Sweating, spitting on things, you know, biting a Republican's arm or whatever. You're just going to have to check that Donald Trump. There's nothing you can do. Because if you go with Joe Biden, you are going to have these kind of problems. Now, like I said, I'm not here to swing your vote. I could care less what you vote for. Do me one favor, though. If you do vote for Biden, in my presence, please jump off a cliff.
Build a bunker.
No. You guys can vote for Biden, but at the same time, please do me one favor if you vote for Biden. Please feel bad for him while you do it. At least, because the Democrats are just using him. He's a pawn. That's all he's there for.
A marionette.
He's a pawn. They're using this. They're going to cart around this old man in a wheelchair while Kamala, or Camel Toe Harris, runs the country. And that's what we know is going to happen. And I can guarantee you she'll be like, on my cabinet, President Obama and Michelle Obama. I can see it. Oh, God. It's going to bring back all the old Democrats. If Biden gets into office, my God, it's going to bring back some of the worst Democrats on the planet. Oh, my God. Like, they're going to be like, Obama, we need you in gun control. Obama wouldn't do anything bad. It's the person that they're actually putting in charge of the gun control stuff and the gun control measures is that idiot from Texas that lost. The guy that used to skateboard across the stage. I forgot his name. He's so unimportant. But literally, he would skateboard across the stage. Yeah, I'm the man. I just wanted to be there one day and just toss a rock at him. Just as he comes by with a skateboard, down.
Put a stick under the wheel.
You know what I mean? God, I would have been much better off if you guys had selected Tulsi Gabbard. I would have actually looked into that. Tulsi Gabbard being something, but nope. You guys don't want Tulsi Gabbard either because she insulted Hillary Clinton. Whoa, God forbid.
No.
God forbid she calls out Hillary Clinton on Twitter, the most cesspool of fucking social media. Twitter is literally a cesspool of social media. That's what Twitter is. And now the Twitter's like blocking the president's everything the president says, then every lie that Biden says, they're like, this is fact checked and true. I'm like, no, it's not. It's really not. You know what I mean? But we're in a tough situation right now, and the riots are going to continue. There's not anyone can do about it. The riots are going to continue, even if Biden wins, and we know why, because they're going to know where he lives. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a nursing home next to the White House somewhere. I'm pretty sure that's what Kamala Harris will put him. Joe, you
can see the White House from here.
Joe, you are still president. We're going to put you in this nursing home, though. And that's just going to happen. It's bad.
I sign all the liberal laws.
Oh, my God. And the worst part about it is the left has been tricked with Kamala Harris bad. I'm not going to fucking fight over pronouncing her name. Cumstain Harris. She looks like the one that had the stuff from Bill Clinton on her dress. Oh yeah, because that time period, Kamala Harris was white. It's the truth. It's the truth. She didn't become a black woman until she started running for vice president. I don't know. That was mean, huh? A little bit mean. Okay. All right. I'll stick to camel toe Harris. But yeah, she's going to be the one taking care of the country, running your policy, or running the country into the ground, whatever you want, with their rich tax that they want to tax.
Biden wins, I'm moving to Switzerland.
Yeah, they don't even have lockdowns. That's the other thing, too. That's another thing that's scary is the fact that these Democrat governors are not listening to what the World Health Organization just announced. The World Health Organization just announced that the lockdowns did not work. They didn't help. They just increased the numbers. Could have sworn we told you that in the beginning of the fucking year. But, it took them forever to learn that. But the World Health Organization just realized that the lockdowns didn't help. Yes, they didn't. Because, I don't know why. Someone goes out, gets groceries, comes home. They don't have COVID-19, but they got it on their body in some way. Now everybody in the household has it, increasing the numbers. And then the artificial inflation of the numbers is another problem with the elections this year. The artificial inflation of COVID was ridiculous. 213,000 people have died from COVID. No. It's actually 10,180. Yes, I got the updated numbers. I found that out last night. See, I do keep up to date with my information. 10,180 people have actually died from COVID. The rest of the people that they're talking about, they're 200 or 190 some odd thousand people that they're talking about died from other health issues. As we told you, during the course of the virus. But, we had to wait for the WHO to say it. And now the WHO, which reminds me of a band, a bad one. You know what I mean? And they were a bad one. But now all of a sudden they're popping up. Oh, yeah, the lockdowns were a bad idea. We got higher numbers now. And I'm like, told you so? Told you so? I don't know. But at the end of the day, what do you think? Who do you think is going to win it?
I'm going for Trump.
Do you think Donald Trump's going to win the election?
Yeah, I do.
God, it's such a hard choice to make. Liam, what do you think? Who do you think is going to win the election?
Are you really asking me that?
No, it's a serious question.
It starts with a T and ends with a P.
Oh, you get what I mean? But,
Trump. I'm voting for Trump.
Well, I'm voting for Donald Trump, too, obviously. We're all voting for Donald Trump.
Gonna win? Yeah, Trump.
Winning-wise, I do have a feeling that Biden's going to pull a win. And I have and I'm not saying that I'm voting for him, but I know he's going to pull a win. And I have a feeling that he's going to. And the win's not going to happen currently. What you're going to see is a massive beat in the Electoral College. Trump will destroy Biden at the Electoral College. But then the mail-in votes will come in. A couple weeks later, a couple weeks later, the mail-in votes will come in, and Biden will wind up winning. Because the reason why I say that is not because he's good at anything he does, or Kamala Harris. The reason why I say that is because of all the fraud that's going on with the voting by mail. Ballots being changed, ballots being thrown away, thousands and thousands of ballots. Just let it go. We're in the middle of a podcast. That's probably Stacy. But thousands and thousands of ballots are going to just magically appear. And I think Biden's going to win. Oh, God. All right, guys. Well, we've hit the maximum segment allowing for the thing. The segment is about to end. The podcast is about to end. Thank you for joining me over on YouTube. Thank you for joining me on Anchor. If you want to check out the podcast, Anchor.fm. And if you want to start your own podcast, Anchor.fm. Anchor.fm/start to do that. This has been the TCP podcast. It's been me, the bro. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And ad-libs from Mr. Liam. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next podcast.